Hi, and welcome to this space. So, if you are new here, my name is Shannon. Thanks for joining me for this little impromptu chat, really. Um, as you can see, I am kind of all in my comfies. It's Sunday evening. I was not planning to get on and record a podcast or make a YouTube video or anything, and that's what I'm doing right now because it is Sunday the 15th. This is such a massive energy week for 2026, and I just got such a big pull to make a little video reading for this week for the community of people who will see this video. So if you're seeing this video, my intention is that this message is meant to support you, that what I share here is meant to support you. So thanks for being here. Let's go into it. we are we've already walked into actually, what I would consider, and I know there are a lot of people who are kind of saying this online, a lot of people who would consider this the same. I would consider this probably the most important week, energetically, like breakthrough wise, energy wise, things changing wise. This is probably the biggest week of 2026. It started on Friday when Saturn moved into Aries. That was Friday evening, or even early Saturday morning, just depending on where in the world you are. And it goes on until next Friday night, Saturday morning time period. That's when Saturn and Neptune will meet at the 0 degree point of Aries. They haven't met at the 0 degree point of Aries in thousands of years. This is a cosmic reset point. And then in the midst of all of that, on Tuesday the 17th, we have a solar eclipse in Aquarius. I feel like I said that word. We have a solar eclipse in Aquarius happening on Tuesday. It's at 28 degrees Aquarius, so it's kind of close to the end of Aquarius. So that's interesting. Like 28, 29 degrees are always kind of like, oh, interesting. We're close to the end of this sign. Like that can be a signal of like we're clearing something up as well. But it's also a northern eclipse, so there's destiny in this. And on the 17th as well, it is the Chinese New Year, which has been such a this year is probably the most I've ever heard, at least in like my like from the accounts that I follow on social media, from the like podcasts I listen to, all these kind of things. This is probably the most I've heard about the Chinese New Year, because this year, you've probably already heard about this too, we move from a year of the snake, which is 2025. So heard a lot about the year of the snake as we're moving into the year of the snake. And now this year, really we're moving into the year of the fire horse, which you've probably heard as well. I would imagine if you're here, and it has been such a hot topic of like understanding the energy of what's happening this week specifically, and then for like all of 2026. I just feel like there are so many different things that are pulling in the astrology and all these different systems of how we read energy and how energy changes and shifts, and how it's interacting with us. They're all pointing towards this time of a really big shift, and like shift in cosmic consciousness, shift in collective consciousness, shift in how we each individually, and probably also, there's no way this can impact us collectively, like show up in our lives. And could be big shifts in our life paths, or finally understanding, this is the path that I'm here to walk right now, and I've been searching for it for maybe like a couple of years or even like longer than that, and it starts to become clearer, or you're called deeper into like this path of something, whatever your soul path is, in this year, especially as we reach the solar eclipse, reach the Chinese New Year, and reach the Saturn-Neptune conjunction on Friday the 20th. So all of that together, I was just kind of feeling into the energy of this week and felt so pulled to create a little, like, this will be both shared as both like a YouTube video and a podcast. So however you are listening to this or watching this, this video, this share, with a little reading for the week ahead. I am not going to go any deeper into the astrology than I just did. There are so many people who are doing that right now. So if you want to go deeper into the astrology, so many people who are giving lots of insight into all of that stuff. What I want to do is tap into the energy of like, how do we meet this week? How do we meet the next few days? Because it's big. This is big energy, and we've been building up to this for a couple of weeks. You could even say months. Like, we've been building up to this for a while, and this is when you may have heard that, and I've talked about this on previous like podcasts and videos and such. Like 2026 is a year that has a lot of momentum in it, but it doesn't really start until now. And so you may have heard that, like 2026 is gonna have a lot of momentum, and you may have been like, where is that momentum? And like, believe me, like, I'm with you there. Even though I know like the momentum is gonna build, like this year has not started with like this big rush of energy or momentum for me. There's been some places where there's been like really cool momentum, and things like different things happening, but it has been a kind of a slow and steady start, and had a lot of integration that has come up in my own life in the beginning of this year, these first few weeks of the year. And I've seen that all as well with a lot of the people I'm working with. This is like there's the feeling of there's something, we can feel the new coming, but it's not quite here yet. And we're like kind of wrapping stuff up. And so think of the next 2 days as your final wrap up. And at this point that I'm actually recording this, it's not even 2 full days yet anymore. It's like, think of the next day and a half as your final wrap up. Like, we have an eclipse on the 17th. It's the evening of the 15th, as I'm recording this. And that's also like, we have the Chinese New Year on the 17th. Like, the energy of shedding ends. We have been in such a massive shed for so long. In some ways, like, yes, we've been in, like, 2025 was a 9 year. It was the year of the snake. Like, it was big shedding energy. In some ways, I think we've been shedding. Like, my read on the energy is we've been shedding for years and years and years. It started, like, 2020 was a year of shed. Like, think about how much shifted and shed, and how many of us started or were pushed deeper onto a path of healing, embodiment, shedding, becoming, unlearning, like shifting who we are and how we show up in the world. So think about how many people were pushed onto that path or pushed deeper onto that path in 2020. I think we've been shedding for years. And we are wrapping it up. And at the same time, you don't have to have everything perfectly done and feel like, oh yeah, I've perfectly shed everything by the time you get to Tuesday, the 17th. That's not how it works. You just be aware of it. Be aware and notice what's coming up. And if there are things you're like, oh yeah, that really feels done and I want to stop carrying this, that's what you put down, right? But you don't have to be like, you don't need to worry about being perfectly on time. Like, if I don't shed this thing that's still deep in my system, by Tuesday, I'll have lost my ability to shed it. Like, no, that's not how it works. We're not going to perfectly like get rid of or shed every single thing that we've ever held in our bodies, or like every fear that we've ever held or anything like that. Like, you're not going to perfectly shed for Tuesday. It's more, we move out of a cycle of constant or consistent like peeling. We move out of that energy and like peeling off and then having a big shed. Like, we move out of that energy on Tuesday. So that doesn't mean you'll never shed again. It doesn't mean you have to have every single skin that you'll ever shed in your life shed by Tuesday. It just means that we're moving out of a cycle that has been really intensely about healing and learning and unbecoming who we are not to become who we are. Like, we're moving out of an intense phase of that on Tuesday, into Wednesday, into the rest of the week, so on and so forth. So you're right on time. And if you are feeling like, okay, I'm noticing this stuff coming up. I have been working on this. I'm ready for this to be done. Like, what's the final thing I need to do to shed? Put your hand on your heart. Tap on your heart. Maybe one hand on heart, one hand tapping on your collarbone. Bring that thing into mind. You're like, okay, I don't like this. I'm done, right? I've worked on this. It's time to really shed it. And can you just invite the energy, the belief, the thing, whatever it is for you, invite it to be complete. And sometimes that looks like inviting this energy or belief or pattern or thing, whatever it is that you've been shedding. Wow, I just lost light so fast. Get a close up of my face. There we go. Okay, so this doesn't mean, or wait, sorry, sometimes this means like the thing that you're shedding, that you're like ready to fully shed. Sometimes you invite it just to mulch into, dissolve into your inner landscape. Like think of your inner energetic landscape as a forest, and you can invite this old energy, the thing that you've been working on shedding, to shed like a snake skin in your inner forest and to be like be digested, be reclaimed by your inner wildness. Sometimes it's just that visual, right? Visualize letting that old energy, that shed, be completely shed and be digested, be reclaimed by your inner forest. Or maybe sometimes the thing that we've been walking with, we've been working so hard to differentiate ourselves from it. Fear is a really good example of this. We work so hard to differentiate ourselves from fear, and maybe you still feel some fear. Not in the same way that you used to, but there's still some fear right now. Maybe you just imagine holding out your hand and inviting fear to just be your friend, just walk with you, as opposed to being something you need to fight against. It's an enemy or it's taking over. But if you just invite the fear to walk with you, because we're never going to get rid of fear. It is just not worth your time to try and get rid of fear. Totally. We want to unravel, and this is probably what a lot of us have been doing. I know I've done this, and I would imagine that if you're here watching this, this is probably true in some way for you too, that unraveling the places where fear has led, that's great, but you don't need to be like, fear, you're banished from my energy, because that's just unnecessary and also useless, because biologically fear is part of what keeps us safe. Like we can't get rid of it. So once we've unraveled the places where we've given our power to fear, which if you're here with me, you probably have done, we can invite it to just walk with us as a friend. Maybe that's how you complete your shed. Maybe there's something that you're noticing, like, I feel this thing, this last thing, and I want this over, this pattern to be done, this fear to be shed, or this belief to be shed. Can you bring it into your heart and think it, whatever it is, the pattern, the belief, whatever. Thank it for what it's taught you. Thank it for how it's guided you. And really love it. Like, can you bring love to this pattern, this belief, this energy, this shed? Can you bring love to all it's been, even to the hard, even to the things that have felt so painful? Can you bring a little bit of love to it? And then, and let it go. And say, I release you. Thank you. So those are a couple ways that you could support that shed in closing up. There's so many ways that you can support the shed in finishing up. If you don't feel like your shed has finished and you really want to support that last piece of finishing in the next day and a half. Those are just a couple of examples. I hope that maybe they help you if you are feeling like your shed needs a little support to finish. And then there may be other aspects of your shed where you just have noticed over the last few days, last couple of weeks, things just releasing. Just like, wow, wow, there's not an attachment there like there used to be. I've noticed this with a few things for myself, where it's just like, wow, that's just really complete. like this thing is so complete in a way that I couldn't even have imagined it being complete before. Like it's so wow. Like that, like I've been feeling that about some things. And so if you've been feeling that way about anything, take a moment when you can just appreciate that. Like that's beautiful to honor the shed that has led to the place where you can be like, wow, that is complete. That's so amazing. Um, okay, let me give you the reading. So I pulled a tarot card and I pulled a rune. I just have one of each. I wanted to keep this nice and simple. This my intention when I pulled these. I was asking for a rune and a tarot card to support the community, the group who will receive this message. So you, if you're watching this or listening to this, asking for a rune and a tarot card to support this group for this week we're moving into, as we move into the eclipse, as we move into the Chinese New Year, as we move into the Saturn Neptune conjunction. Like, what messages or energy or support do we need or would be most supportive in this time moving into this week? So here are the messages we have. The first, I'm going to show you the rune. This rune is the rune Rado. Rado is a rune of travel. Rado did come out upside down. This is how it would normally look, right side up. Okay, so Rado. When Rado is upside down, it indicates a travel, like a more of an internal travel, an internal journey to the past. It is pointing to like going back to something. So Rado upside down, this is saying something about the energy of this week, and this makes sense based on everything that I've already said. We are clearing up something from the past. Something from the past may come up, and it's time to just let it clear. So you may be called back into the past for something. You may, like, that might be what you were literally doing, like, at this time. The first couple days of this week, especially, like you're releasing things from the past, because upside down too, there's an element. This is more of an intuitive read of it right now too, but like there's this element of like let it go, like letting go. Upside down, it's not. It's like sand just like trickling away. Like we're letting go of the past. So that's the read here with the rune Rado. Something about travel to the past, and then the intuitive message of this is like letting go, like letting the past trickle away. Because where we're going, like we are going, I don't know what this is going to look like. You know, I'm not going to predict what we're going into. I'm not going to try and make some mass prediction about what it's going to look like as we move into, you know, all this new energy. But the one thing that I feel pretty confident saying is that it's going to look nothing like what we have probably ever seen before. Probably, hopefully, in really good ways, mostly, but probably also there will be, you know, ways where it's uncomfortable, or, you know, good things can also be uncomfortable, or sometimes scary, or sometimes before the good comes, we have to let things fall, you know, and we have absolutely been seeing things crumbling and coming to light on a kind of global level, on the world stage, and probably internally in our own like lives and communities and collectives as well. So to really start something new, to have a new beginning, because Saturn Neptune on Friday, that conjunction at 0 degrees Aries, 0 degrees, the beginning, Aries, the beginning zodiac sign. These two things, Saturn, the structure, Neptune, the vision, they are meeting at 0 degrees Aries. This is truly like a cosmic start point, reset start point. We may or may not feel anything about it specifically on Friday. It's like one of those times where likely we'll be able to point back to around this time period and that conjunction, however far in the future from now, and go, yeah, that's about the time that we started. Like something big shifted, something big reset, something rebirthed. Collectively, we like shifted in some way. And so to do that, we can't bring the past with us. Let the past go. Let it trickle away. That's something that's really interesting when I pulled that rune, because I pulled the card of the rune before I started recording, of course. When I pulled that rune, I thought that was so interesting, because I've been seeing that happen in my world lately, the last few days especially. It's like there's just like trickling away of the past, like things wrapping up, and it's just like, it's very subtle. It's these tiny things. Like, it would be so easy to miss it. It's not like anything major or like earth shattering has happened. It's just these little tiny places where I'm going, that's a piece of sand of the past that just trickled away right there. Like, that's really cool. I could have missed that really easily. And I could have thought that I still had more shedding to do. So I also want you to know, to like hear this. A lot of the things I've noticed that like I've worked on, have been part of my shed journey, in 2025 and even like since 2020. I when I think about it, when I really get conscious and aware, the little sheds that have happened, or the shedding of those things that has happened, it's been super subtle. It's been super, super subtle. It's been really, really easy to miss it and go, oh my God, maybe there's still more here. Maybe there's still something that hasn't shed. And then the mind gets in the way, right? And we can start like worrying about like, what if I miss something? What if I miss something? What if there's something else that I haven't seen or I need to do with, or whatever. So we were talking a few minutes ago about like embracing that last bit of shed. A couple practices that you could try if you're like working on that or just wanting to complete it. Also, take a little bit of time, contemplate, meditate on, is there anything that actually it was so subtle I didn't notice, which is kind of amazing, but I didn't notice that actually shed already. And my mind is just is like looking and worrying that I haven't finished it, but actually that completed. And I felt it complete. But it was so subtle and beautiful and just like an easy, gentle, like relief that I almost didn't notice it. So also think about that, contemplate on that. Okay, so anyway, we're letting the past go. Big energy for this week. Okay, our tarot card is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is talking about, this card is about a goal being in sight. You're close to achieving a goal. You got to keep working though. We're not at it yet. This is like continue moving forward. Keep taking action. Keep doing things. This is a card of doing. Pentacles are earth, right? They represent the earth suit of the tarot. So there is this energy of like, you need to keep doing things. You're not like, this is not mental, this is not spiritual, this is not emotional. Like those realms are present, but your work this week is physical. Keep moving forward. Keep taking steps. Keep showing up. Don't get caught in the mental traps, in the emotional traps, or the spiritual trap, whatever it is, the distractions where you can, like, I know I speak from experience, like I'd say it can be so easy to start overthinking or to start over like meditating or over processing or over whatever, and then not actually move forward and take action steps because we're too worried about, or too like in the mind or in the ethers about, oh, what am I doing? Or what are the messages I'm receiving, or whatever it might be. It's like those things are present. Those things are there. You don't have to like cut them out totally all week, but it's like your focus this week needs to be more on the earth things, more on the action, more on the physical. What am I doing? Like Saturn, Neptune meeting in Aries, that's a collective cosmic like reset start point, but also it's an individual one. Like, what are you starting? What have you been preparing to do? What have you been preparing to create? Or what have you been preparing to action forward into the world? Don't forget about your action this week. Don't forget about continuing to get more clarity as you let the past go, let it trickle away. What's the future holding? And how are you walking towards that future? How are you setting yourself up to step into that future? The future that is fast approaching, the future that is basically already here. How are you physically meeting that future as well? So don't get distracted by the mind and the ether and the ideas and the visioning. That was all of the Neptune and Saturn and Pisces stuff. We may be going into Pisces season very soon. We are, a few days. But just because we're going into Pisces season soon doesn't mean that we need to go back to like being all like heady and visiony and in the ethers and like going, oh my God, what are the ideas? Oh, I'm feeling all this. And it's like, no. We are moving out of that era of the Pisces formlessness and coming into this era of Aries. Step forward, take the action, do the things, create the things, create the life, the mission, the purpose, the teaching the whatever it is that you're here to do, like create it, walk it, bring it forward into the world. So Seven of Pentacles is saying, you got to stay the course. And Seven of Pentacles can also show like you could be a little tired. This is a big week. You're probably gonna get tired. You're probably gonna be a little tired sometimes. Like we're letting the past go, right? At the same time that we are walking forward into the future. Stay the course. Stay the course. That's your job this week. Stay the course. Keep moving forward. Let the shed complete. You don't have to overthink it. It's gonna complete. And keep the action. You're nearly there. Keep going. You're nearly there. Stay dedicated. So those are our card and our rune for this week. This is gonna be. I feel it. Like I can feel this, the energy of this week. Like I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited for it. Very fair if there's a little bit of trepidation in it too. It's going to be a big week energetically, I'm sure, in ways, again, that we can't predict. But I'm also excited. Like this is beautiful, big, new energy. Well, I am holding the intention that it's going to be beautiful energy overall. And I invite you to hold that intention with me. So I want to say this again. The shed is going to finish. You just have to let it. Feel free to, like, hopefully one or two of those practices, those little easy, gentle practices I shared will resonate with you. Or you have your own practices that are just the way that you honor and close out things. Another thing that you can do, it's a very simple but powerful, and for some people this is the best way to close out. Just write a letter. Write a letter. Your final closeout letter. Thanking every version of you that you've been, every version of you that's walked through all the things you've walked through and that you've been shedding and that you've been growing through. Write a letter. Thank all those versions of yourself, and then let it go. And by letting it go, it might mean you fill up the letter and you take a big breath out and you shake off your body, or it might mean you fill up the letter and you give it to the fire. You safely burn it. It could mean that you filled up the letter and you just put it in a drawer. And you forget about it. And maybe in 5 years, you'll find that letter again and be like, wow, I'd forgotten about some of this stuff I wrote about because life has changed so much. Like, wow, what an incredible moment that was to close out those cycles of shed, or that cycle of shed. So that's one more way that you can meet this if you're feeling the need for a practice of some kind. But the other thing I do want to say is, like, again, you don't need to do lots of practices, especially if you've been doing practices. Like, especially if you've been meeting this, if you have been present for the shed, if you've been present in the process, the alchemization of unbecoming who you're not anymore, who you used to be, and becoming who you were, here to be in this season of life, you've probably already done it. You've probably already been present with everything. So a lot of the shed is probably something I want to give you permission here where you can just let it complete right next to you. It's like you're there with it, but it's not you anymore, and you can just thank you. And you can just feel that separation where that's not you anymore, and that's the completion. That's the shed. And it's that simple. And if that message was meant for you, you'll feel it. Because that's not going to, if that message wasn't meant for you and you're like, Shannon, that sounds insane, and like, no, like, I can't do that. Okay, great, that message wasn't meant for you. But for some of you, that message is meant for you. Take it or leave it. Yeah. Excited to see where this week is bringing us. I want to invite you to stay connected to your truth this week. This is a quick intuitive message is coming through. One of the best things you can do this week, stay off of social media. Stay off of media. Be with yourself. Be with your family. Be with your loved ones. Disconnect yourself from the cycles of outside thought and energy and telling you how to feel. Get yourself off of it. Stay away from it this week. I mean, stay away from it as much as you can, honestly. But really be conscious and conscientious of what energy you are consuming this week. This is a big shift energy. Be present for it. Be present for it in your life. Don't be, no, instead of being present for it and what everyone else is saying about it, being present for it in your life, in your system, in your body, in your way of understanding it. Who cares what other people have to say? And I say that as I'm like giving you, like, in a sense, who cares what I have to say, right? But yeah, stay off of it. Stay away from other people's opinions as much as possible. Until I can tell you that's what I'm doing this week. I've deleted almost every social media app off of my phone. Every media of any kind app off of my phone. Like, check my email. I don't want to know. I want to be present with what this week and what this energy shows to me, to my loved ones, to my community, to my vision and my action. I want to be really, really present to my sphere. We all have our own spheres of community and care and influence. And those are the most important places for us to be present to. So reminder to stay present to what actually is part of your like daily life and your energy, your path, your soul, your collective. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave you actually. Stay present with that this week. And yeah, stay present with that this week. Stay grounded, stay the course. Don't dissociate out into the ether. Stay in your body, stay in the action forward. Listen to what the energy has to say. If you have those kind of practices, amazing, probably do if you're here. And you got to stay embodied. Stay embodied, stay focused. What are you walking towards? What is the future you're creating? Stay focused on that. And if this is helpful, if any part of this was helpful, let me know. I'd love to hear. I am considering if maybe I do this every week, give you a little weekly read, a weekly update. Let me know if you would like to receive that from me, if that's something that it would be supportive or helpful if I brought to my Substack, podcast, YouTube, all the places that this goes. So yeah, let me know if that's something that you would like to see more of. And if you want to share with me, anything that's coming up for you as we move into this week or anything that comes up for you as we move through the week, please feel free to comment. Feel free to send me an email. I'll include my email in the show notes in the description. Or send me a note on a note or a comment on Substack. Ideally, don't reach out to me on Instagram. That's used to be what I would say is reach out to me on Instagram, but I'm trying to stay more off of that app more and stay more connected to email, connected to Substack, connected to YouTube. So those are the best places to comment or send notes or anything like that. So if you have anything you'd like to share, or even if you try any of these practices, these little practices I suggested, and want to share about it or talk about it, send me a note. I would love to hear. Okay, I think that's that. Thanks for being here with me. This was super impromptu, and I hope it's helpful. I appreciate your energy, being present with me as you've watched or listened, and wishing you a lot of blessings for this week ahead. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. We are complete. See you next time.